What's good, YouTube? This is Cam chilling back again with another video. And ladies and gentlemen, we have, unfortunately for football fans, we are here at the end of this NFL season. We have officially made it to Super Bowl week. And then after the Super Bowl, we have a very long off season after that. Can't you believe this has gone by this fast, man? Like, this came by just like that, you know what I'm saying? I'm definitely going to miss football after the Super Bowl is over. But for now, we're just gonna have to enjoy every single moment that happens here in the Super Bowl. So last week, no, correction, 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, I got both of the conference championship games correct as I picked the Kansas City Chiefs. Feels like the obvious choice, as the Chiefs always beat the Buffalo Bills in the playoffs. Not so much in regular season, but the playoffs always matters more. But anyway, I got the Chiefs game correct, and I got the Eagles game correct. Thought that game could have gone a little bit closer, I would anticipate. I mean, did it kind of seem that way, I guess, in the first half, but then the Eagles pretty much ran away there in the second half of that game. But I did get both of those games correct. I went 2-0 in the conference championship games, and we'll see. We'll finish off the season with a bang. Now, obviously, I wasn't able to get through all of the week predictions for every single week of the season. If you've been following along throughout this journey, I had to deal with a lot of college work, but thankfully, I won't be able to deal with that anymore. So this is my promise to y'all. I'm going to make sure that by next season, I'm going to put out a video for every single week for next year's NFL season. That is a promise I will give y'all. So for now, let's predict who is going to win the Super Bowl. So here we go. Super Bowl 59 on the way, as you got the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. This Super Bowl taking place in New Orleans. Kendrick Lamar, the GOAT, will be performing for the halftime show. Now, I will say this. I love Kendrick Lamar. I mean, this guy is a GOAT, just like I said. They not like us. They not like us. They not like us. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this guy does not play around when it comes to this rap music. I mean, this guy don't play at all. So for anybody trying to disrespect him, that'll be a regret. But anyways, as much as I love him, I just feel like the NFL just disrespected Lil Wayne. As much as I love Kendrick Lamar, I feel like the NFL just did Lil Wayne dirty. I mean, this is his hometown, the place that Lil Wayne grew up in, and you're telling me that you're not going to allow him to perform in his hometown? Like, that's just messed up, man. That's just completely messed up in my opinion. But anyways, back to the Super Bowl. Let's start with the Eagles. Obviously, they had a phenomenal season, and you guys already know one of the reasons why, of course. The man, the myth, the legend, the Eagles legend, if you will, Mr. Saquon Barkley. This guy showed the Giants, their front office to be specific, they showed them why they needed to be drug tested effective immediately. Okay, that's how bad that the Giants front office should be looking like it right now. You're about to see the running back that they had, that they drafted, go to the Super Bowl in his first year in a new team. Okay, that's a very bad look for that team. Saquon Barkley was just going absolutely crazy, looking like a monster, so shifty, jumping backwards over defenders. I mean, making highlight reels almost every week. I mean, this guy was just going insane. He looked like a beast. He was absolutely fantastic, as well as the whole team here, of course. And even their defense. Their two rookie cornerbacks who were candidates for the Defensive Rookie of the Year, and Cooper DeJean and Quentin Mitchell. Both of those guys played very, very well in their first year in the NFL. And also the defensive line with Jalen Carter replacing Fletcher Cox. I mean, the Eagles know how to replace these guys. They were able to replace Fletcher Cox for I don't know how many Pro Bowls he got into, but darn it, they replaced him greatly with Jalen Carter, who made the Pro Bowl for the first time, as well as Nolan Smith, I believe. I think he was a Pro Bowler too. I'll have to go back into that, but I'm pretty sure he did. Zach Bond made a Pro Bowl. I mean, that defense was phenomenal. Not just in regular season, but also in the playoffs, whether you want to admit it or not. Jalen Hurts did everything that he could, and specifically for last week. I mean, there were a bunch of people saying, oh, well, Jalen Hurts just doesn't have it anymore. The guy can't throw. He can't throw a deep pass. He looks so inaccurate. There's a reason why they do not trust Jalen Hurts. And what did he do? This guy put all those Jalen haters down to sleep. Now, it was a close game in the first half of that game, but then the Eagles, like I said, pretty much ran all over the Washington Commanders after that. Even their third string running back got in there and had a big touchdown. For a moment there, I thought that was Saquon Barkley there at first. Where did he had those skills from? But either way, great stuff by the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, this week, they have been dealing with a bunch of illnesses, just like Jalen Carter, for example. But thankfully, defensive coordinator Vic Fangio, I think his name, he's saying that he should be ready to go for the Super Bowl, which will be huge for the Eagles defense because this guy has been eating up running backs for lunch. That's definitely good news there for the Eagles and their defense there, of course. And since Jalen Hurts proved that he can still throw that ball, the Eagles definitely going to need him to show up in his game. And he definitely did that the last time that the Eagles faced the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. He definitely showed out, and it was in the shootout, of course. The Chiefs ended up winning that game 38-35. What will happen for this time around? We shall see. And speaking of the Kansas City Chiefs, those guys also had a phenomenal season, although it's not as great as years prior. Now, last year, obviously, it looked a bit shaky, and they still made it to the Super Bowl, of course. But the defense certainly looked very, very good, just like last season. Offense, not so much. Doesn't look that way like in the 2021 season and the 2022 season there, of course, as well. But the last year and the 2024 season, they've been looking a bit shaky. Now, they did put up 32 points against the Buffalo Bills in the championship game, so that's definitely great to see. Perhaps it might happen again here when they play against the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, it's definitely going to be a very tall task because this Eagles defense is very, very good. And again, even though they put up 32 points, the wide receiver room for the Chiefs does not look great. Now, DeAndre Hopkins, and I love the fact that the Chiefs got that trade in to get DeAndre Hopkins. Now, DeAndre Hopkins does not have the production that many of us probably would have thought he would get. He is getting older right now. But hey, at least he got into his first Super Bowl finally that he deserves. He finally got into the big game that he deserves. I hope he can get his ring. After all the teams that he went through, all the quarterbacks he had to play with, and he was still productive even then. But he just never had a great team surrounding him. Looking forward to see what happens there. And even Patrick Mahomes, he didn't have a great regular season, but obviously that didn't matter, obviously, because they only had one loss. Now, the other loss they had was because they had their backups against the Denver Broncos for the season finale. But they just know how to win games. They just somehow, some way figure out how to win all of these close games here. Now, obviously, I wouldn't be surprised if it would be a close game in the Super Bowl, and there should be no reason why it should not be a close game. I mean, this is a Super Bowl. Everybody's trying to get to the Super Bowl. So, I mentioned about their offense. Now, their defense. This is a good defense. Now, I'm looking forward to see how they're going to do against Saquon Barkley, which is definitely not easy here to do. Obviously, with the offensive line. And speaking of the Eagles' offensive line, the difference here, you remember Jason Kelce? He retired last year. He's not there. But the center that they replaced, he made the Pro Bowl in his first year in the NFL. I think he was struggling early They were in the season, including against my Packers, of course. But then he's been getting better and better as the season moves along. So I guess that wasn't that big of a loss, it appears. So yeah, the Chiefs defense going to have their hands full when they're going up against Saquon Barkley and the running attack. I mean, it's not just Saquon Barkley now. Obviously, he's a monster. But they also got to keep an eye out for Jalen Hurts, as he's known to run the football too. So, with all that being said, rematch from Super Bowl 57. Who's going to win this time around? Now, obviously, the Eagles team is absolutely stacked, as I said, with not just Saquon Barkley, but obviously with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, obviously Saquon Barkley. So any defense who will be going up against the Eagles offense, that's definitely going to be a tall task, of course. And I won't be surprised if it ends up being a shootout here again. But once again, as I've been saying in every video, never ever doubt Patrick Mahomes. Never ever doubt Andy Reid. Never ever doubt Travis Kelce. Never ever doubt this Kansas City Chiefs team. And until I see them lose in the playoff game. Now, obviously, this is the very, very last game of the season, so it probably doesn't really matter that much. But when it comes to the playoffs, you always got to go with the Chiefs. And that's who I'm picking. Got to go with the Kansas City Chiefs. They always know how to win these games. I mean, they have been in this situation a millions of times. And I don't know why that's going to stop now. They always know how to do it. Now, until I see the Eagles prove me wrong, give me the Kansas City Chiefs to win Super Bowl 59, as they will be the first team in NFL history to have a three-peat this generation. So there you have it. That is my Super Bowl pick for the 2024-2025 NFL season. You guys can let me know down in the comments below, who do you guys pick to go win the Super Bowl? If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and also please subscribe. And until next time, this is Cam Chillin', and I am signing off. Peace.